Okay, imagine driving a winding road with two noisy backseat drivers shouting opposite absolutes at you. One shouts that on winding roads one must always turn hard right, the other shouts that one must always turn hard left. Of course, if either of them were in the driver's seat, they wouldn't take their own advice. It would get them killed. But never mind that. They're having fun pretending they have the one-turn-fits-all formula. One is shouting that the problem is that there are any roads at all, when we should be allowed to drive wherever we want. Freedom, they cry, as though they're braver than Braveheart. There's not a person in this world who wants absolute freedom, despite how much some crow about it. Total freedom is free fall with nothing to hold on to, a trapdoor opening into a void. Terrifying. We want the freedoms we want. We don't want the freedoms we don't want. But it's more fun to pretend that we advocate total freedom, that we despise all restrictions, that anyone who doesn't give us the freedoms we want is an evil dictator tyrant. The other backseat driver is shouting that we need absolute restrictions. The roads are too wide. They should be train tracks, so no one ever gets out of line. Of course, no one wants total restriction either. Total restriction is a straitjacket. We want the restrictions we want, not the ones we don't want. But it's more fun to pretend we're for the tightest possible restrictions and that anyone who disagrees with us is a radical chaos monger. One backseat driver keeps laughing at you for driving too carefully. You should loosen up, get rambunctious, and drive more aggressively, plowing others off the road if need be. They say you've got to be tough. And if you're not, you're a wimpy PC. The other backseat driver keeps saying you're scaring them. You should never scare anyone. Be careful or you'll trigger them, which will prove that you're a heartless meanie. Fact is, we're all sensitive and insensitive, though about different things. But it's more fun to pretend that we're heroic because we're absolutely PC, gentle, caring people, or that we're absolutely anti-PC, perfectly tough, and anyone who doesn't like us plowing into them is weak. One backseat driver keeps saying that you're driving too slowly. You've got to race forward, disrupt, change everything, because changing things is always good. The other says you're a fool for not just parking at some nostalgic roadside attraction that turns back the clock to the good old days. Fact is, we're all for staying and going, tradition and progress, conservation and change. We all want to preserve and restore the best of the past, and we all want upgrades and innovations, improving, adapting, and progressing to keep up with our changing world. But it's more fun to claim we're all for one and not at all for the other, that we're orthodox progressives, as if we don't want to preserve anything, or that we're orthodox conservatives, as though we don't want to change anything. Life is guesswork among opposing options. The right move in some situations is the wrong move in other situations, just like on a winding road. Life is thus riddled with tough judgment calls and doubt about how to deal with them. Doubt is no fun. It's more fun to project our doubts onto others so we can feel unwavering and proud of standing for the always right solution. Why can't we all just get along? Well, lots of reasons. But we could get along a whole lot better if we all admitted that we want the same opposite things. Freedom and protection, liberation and order, sensitivity and looseness, progress and conservation, the list goes on. We might like them to different degrees, but no one is exclusively for one half of these tensions or the other. The real question isn't whether we were for or against freedom, but which freedoms? The same for all those opposed options. Which sensitivities and insensitivities? Which innovations and traditions? We'll disagree about which. One person's freedom is another person's restriction. There will be conflict over when to do what, but we could get along a lot better than we do if we just admitted that we want the same opposite things. Still, it's just so much fun to project onto fictional foes whatever half of us is inconvenient in the moment. When we're feeling a little sensitive, it's fun to pretend we're against all rowdiness always. When we're feeling rowdy, it's fun to pretend we're against all sensitivities always. We'd get along better if we could all just own the tensions that come with being human. We could work collectively to cultivate the wisdom to know when to opt for opposite options. But that would be a disappointment to the part of us that likes to keep things simple, playing absolute backseat driver by projecting halves of ourselves on to others.